Hello, United We Rise. Hello, hello. Welcome to our little chat tonight. While you are logging on, hop on and tell me where you're from. I see somebody's on. Kim, hello. We'll wait just a few seconds while we're waiting, just because I hate for anybody to miss the whole thing, but I also don't want to keep all of you waiting who are already on. So hello, hello. Oh, good. Hearts, that means you're here and I'm in the right place. Hello, everybody. So while you're logging on, drop a little comment below where you're watching from so that we can see our beautiful Scentsy family from all over the world. And the fun thing about this is also, while you're typing in where you're from, if you see anybody, a Scentsy friend that you want to get to know in a place either where you are, reach out and send them a message, and you've got a new local networking buddy. Or if there's somebody in a place that you would like to go to, reach out to them and tell them, hello everybody, oh, it's so fun to see your cute faces just with your little profile names. I think I always thought that I was an introvert, which I am, but I always thought that that meant that I was not social because, you know, I don't know, I kind of like my home and I'm a homebody. But I love seeing your names. I can't even tell you how fun it is to see all of you on here together and kind of feel like we are all on this call together. So, okay. Hello, hello. Oh, good. Oh, Amy, you're even up. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning there, I think. So, Texas and California and Australia and UK and Florida. Oh, I love all of you beautiful people and your beautiful places. Hopefully you guys have nicer weather than we do. It's been a little bit gray today and I love sunshine. So anyway, okay, good. Looks like we've got over 100 people on, so I don't want to keep you waiting. I have lots to go over. I always try to make it short and sweet, and then I just have too many things that I want to say. So this is a part 2. So if you missed the part 1, I don't know, you can search up my name in here, or I can link the video below for the first one if you missed it. And that was all about how to be a rockstar recruiter, what to say, how to approach somebody, how to look for them, how to find them. It was all about kind of the mentality of being a rockstar recruiter and how you can make that happen. Tonight, we're doing a part 2 of where to find them, how to look, how to become attractive so that they find you, where to find them so that you can go to the next step of saying just the right thing to help them decide that they need to join. So, all right. So the first things first, I think with the mentality of sponsoring and recruiting and prospecting, all those words to me are kind of interwoven. So some people have a big preference to do one or the other, but I think they're all interwoven. I think as we're prospecting and looking for people, then we sponsor and recruit and help them join. And because in our compensation plan, the more we help them and the better they do, the better we do. So it's not even just a recruit and drop them, like some people think recruit connotes, but you really sponsor somebody and you help them, you become their new best friend. So the first thing that you need to do is wrap your mind around the fact that you need to recruit. And we talked about that on my last video too, why you need to recruit, why it's so important and will absolutely change your business and change your life. So the why behind where you need to recruit, as well as you need to envision that is you. That not only that it makes sense in your mind that your business can grow and that you make so much more on the compensation plan off of your downline and off of helping them grow downline, but that it really can change your life and that it can be you, and that it can make your life different and it can help achieve all of your dreams, whatever they are. So you've got to kind of find your purpose and your passion. A lot of times we talk about finding your why. Why do you want to even be a consultant? Why would you want to even sponsor anybody? What does that look like? You have to have that mentality. What would it change about your life? Why do you need to grow your team? What are you looking for? What is your purpose and your passion behind just growing? Because if you're just like, oh, I just need some new recruits, why? What would that change? You have to put it on to where you feel it, you see it, you can see in your mind's eye the list of all of your new recruits. Excuse me. And that you can see so much how that can happen. And like I said, you can envision yourself, you can see the long list of all the people that you're helping, as well as I went over this last time, but just for a second, just to wrap your mind around paychecks. If you have a dream and if your purpose involves anything to do with money, which usually if you want more time, if you want more opportunities, if you want more freedoms, if you want to quit a job, if you want to take the kids on a vacation, if whatever, usually our big, if you want to adopt a child or in vitro fertilization, I have a girl on my team who that is her Scentsy business. That's her dream. She uses her Scentsy money to grow her family and to provide for the life that she wants. So usually all of those dreams, you have to feel it. You have to feel that dream so much to where you can really, truly put it on. And usually the way to make those dreams come true is through your money. So this is a big long list. I'm not going to go into it because I went over last time, but just as a refresher, if you haven't seen this, the colors are the different parts of our compensation plan and the different parts of where my paycheck comes. My husband has been home with me for the last 4 years working our Scentsy business together. And I tell you, I wouldn't be able to sell enough Scentsy to make that happen. But this blue is all that I sold. And look, I didn't stop selling. I didn't sell any less, but it's the percentage. So how did my paycheck get bigger? Well, this purple and green, that is from sponsoring and recruiting. So once you put that mentality on of, okay, my dreams can come true. I have dreams. I have passion. I have purpose around this. My way to make that happen is by growing my team. Then you hold yourself accountable. And it's not for any incentive trip. It's not for any points for anything. It's not for even a promotion. But you are actually living and working your dream. And that comes from knowing what your dream is. So if you haven't figured that out, you cannot really... Sponsoring and recruiting is hard. It's scary. It's hard to know what to say. You have to go outside of your comfort zone. You have to be creative. I'm going to give you a huge long list of a million different ideas of where to find people. But a long list of what to do and where to find them doesn't do any good if you can't make yourself start and if you can't make yourself do it. We know what to do, but it's so scary and it's so hard that if you don't have that passion, that fire, that drive to make it happen, it's really hard to make yourself do it. So find your passion, find your purpose. I know we talk about it a lot with why you're even just running your Scentsy business, but I think a lot of the times that is how you get over the hurdle of recruiting as well. And if it's just so burning in your heart that you can't stop but share it and always looking for new places, you will find the best place for you to recruit is how you are going to find it. And I can give you, and I'm going to share my list. I've got a couple pages here. See my little list of where you can find them. So I've got some ideas to help you, but what's going to make it really work and turn into a machine for you is when you find how to make it yours. And that only comes from having it inside your heart and your passion. So, I follow Brandon Burchard. I can't say his name. Sorry, Brendan. I just butchered your name. But he made a post the other day that I thought was very, very, very key to all of this and kind of brings it all in. And he was talking about motivation. And if you're not motivated to leave your comfort zone and figure out how to make it work with recruiting, that's not just because you can't force yourself to do it. And he said, you can be doing all the things right and still feel unmotivated. So what can you do to find that motivation every day? And I think that's key because with recruiting, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to recruit once and then I'll just not do it for a little while. But you have to actually, it's something just like running your business. You can't just wait for sales to come to you or else your business will kind of flatline. It's the same thing with sponsoring and recruiting and prospecting. Those activities have to be something that you think about and focus on daily for it to actually catch because you're planting seeds all the time. So he said, so what can you do to find motivation every day? I encourage all of you to envision a better future and then identify what it'll take to get there. He says, because when you envision an idyllic future state in your mind's eye, you don't get held up in the inconveniences of the present. You don't let current limitations get you down. You transcend your impulses a bit more. You're able to see beyond what's in front of you to a brighter horizon. And he says, and that's so important. And let the vision fuel your everyday actions. Remember how I said it's something you need to be working on every day all the time? He said, I always say you didn't lose motivation. You lost touch with your future. So allow some space in your day to meditate or simply visualize a brighter future, a better tomorrow. Don't forget that your daily actions and simple efforts today can gather weight and momentum and become an unstoppable force towards a focused and free life. So anyway, I didn't mean to, have this be the Brendan Burchard hour, but I read that and it just spoke so strongly to me that that's exactly how it happens. You don't just wake up every day feeling motivated to go out and talk to strangers about joining your team and try to help people see how this business is not a scam and it's not a bad thing, but it's really truly something that can truly bless their lives. That takes a lot of effort and a lot of guts, and that can only come from when you feel it. So I am kind of gonna throw a bunch of things out at you, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed or scared or paralyzed by thinking you have to do it all, or even that you're trying to do 5 of them. Think about it. Okay, I'm gonna fire hose a lot of ideas for you because sometimes that's the best way that I do it. Figure out the one little idea that kind of sparks in your heart and gets you excited and you think, oh, I could try that. Write that down and then go and do it. And then come back and watch it again later. If you, once that kind of hits a dead end or slows to a trickle, come back and try some again and then add to your little list, and then you'll kind of get the momentum because success begets success and progress leads to more progress. So first of all, what you should do, what I always do is I start by just making a list. It's amazing what can be in here, but it multiplies when you actually physically take a paper or get on the notes section of your phone and actually write it down. Anybody that you can think of who, especially right now with our crazy time of life, with our economy, with our quarantine and loneliness, there's a million reasons why we really have the best thing to share right now. So write down anybody that comes to your mind. I call this the low-hanging fruit. I love to pick my apples and my peaches and my cherries from my trees, and it's easiest to get the stuff that you can just grab easily without getting a ladder, without having to reach really hard. You just reach up and you can grab it. So that's your low-hanging fruit. What's easy? What comes to your mind really quickly? Which people have you been kind of thinking about, or if you think about for a minute, who would you think would just be great? You get to create your dream team. So build it out in your mind. Who would be really great? Don't be afraid to ask people who are successful. Don't be afraid to ask people who are business people. Don't be afraid to ask anybody. So start with your low-hanging fruit, right? Anybody who either needs to be followed up with, or you've never asked, or just somebody who would be really good. I like to make my Fab 5, my 5 rock stars that I can think of right now. If I had them on my team, it would be my rock star team. And then I go and I actually work on that and think about how to approach them, how to turn that into my dream team. So start with 5 and then go talk to them and then do another 5. And once you can't think of any more of your low-hanging fruit, it's time to get the ladder. It's time to go a little bit higher up on your tree. And that is why, and that's where we are going to go into our finding new potentials and where to find new prospects. But like I said, you don't need to move on to them until you've exhausted everything that you already have, the people that need to be followed up with, the people that you've just never asked, your hosts that would be great, or people like me. I always want to run a business, and I'm not the hostess with the mostest, and I don't buy anything. So don't forget to find people who aren't your customers and who aren't your hosts, because that's me. Like I said, don't count anybody out. The mindset around all of this is the way to keep it from being spammy. And like I said, I talked about it a little bit last time, but think about, why would anybody want to join? What do we have to offer? What's the benefit about having a Scentsy business and being a part of our beautiful tribe here? And then facts tell, stories sell. So, and then just share your stories. Share what it's done for you. Share how your life has been different because of it. Even if it's just that you love that you have friends from all over the world, or you have the ability to kind of get outside your home, even though we're inside our homes, because we have, online bingo parties that are really fun and things like that. So stories change lives. It gives people the opportunity to think, oh, that's me too, or oh, I could do that too, or oh, I have that same story. She did this to fix it. Maybe I should try that too. It allows people to relate to you, and that vulnerability of sharing your real stories it's like a people magnet, and it draws people to you. And if you share your successes, don't have to brag, because I don't like to brag, but just share what in a normal, natural way, what Scentsy's done for you. And if you've just started, or if you feel like you don't really have any successes to share, that's okay. Share your hopes for your business. Share your hope for your future with Scentsy and how it's going to change your life. This is called attraction marketing, where you can attract your vibe by who you are and by what you share and what you are a part of. So it's done in person as well as online. So let them know you. Share things about your life. Share silly things in your stories. Share your mess ups. Share where you do things well. Just don't filter yourself. I think that's what a lot of us love, is true vulnerability. And that's one of our core values at Scentsy, is authenticity. Isn't that beautiful? You get to be you. Silly you, serious you, studious you, nerdy you, like whatever is you is beautiful. And that's what people need to see so that they can be attracted to you, because they can only come and feel that if you allow them to feel that. That includes doing things like even commenting on other consultants' posts, or just kind of, like I said, being a part of a tribe, and imagine that it helps others see what a good, happy place we have here, and that it's not cutthroat and it's not dog eat dog, but that we really have a place where people build each other up, and then they want to be a part of that. Everybody wants to find a place to belong, and we have such a great place. So by showing a little bit of that, Scentsy related as well as not, you'll kind of create that engine of attraction marketing. And I'm going to talk about a lot of different ways to do it. But if you keep that idea of attraction marketing, you're trying to attract people to you, then you can do it by all of these, 30 ideas. It all goes and builds upon that same core of you're sharing a little bit about yourself and a little bit of yourself. And then I just have a million different platforms and million different ways to share that message. But the message is the same. That it's you, that you're genuine, and that you have something really good to offer to others, so then they can come and be a part of you as well. So, and less is more. Let them ask you questions. Don't make posts that are like 50 miles long, or even tell everything about all the things. Just kind of hint at things or drop things. Or I remember when I was first trying to learn all this years ago, I would share something on my social media and feel like I had to use all the Scentsy hashtags for all the product names, and make sure that they knew that I sold Scentsy, and make sure they knew the name of this warmer that I'm loving, or, and the more that I've grown in my social media skills, I guess, I don't know, I'm not the pro, but the more that I find my posts that really get interaction, and sorry, I got something in my throat, that people can really relate to, is when I just show a picture of just a warmer and a fragrance that I put in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the best scent ever. And I don't even say what scent it is. Again, let them come to you. Let them ask you. They just want to know that you have something fun, and that, again, they might be like, oh, I want my house to smell good when I walk in the door. So let them ask you. You just get to spark their interest and kind of drip market to them, like little special little drips of happiness. And then they can kind of, again, they'll follow the trail and come to you as well as ask you about different things. So you create the likelihood for them to be able to see you more often by doing some of these things to let yourself be seen. Okay, are you ready? Here's my big long list. I'm recording on my phone, so I don't even know what time it is. Okay, 7:21. Okay, so I'm trying not to go super long here because I usually am very, I just get so many ideas and I just want to share so many things. So I'm going to try to keep it short. And now here we go down the fire hose. This is where you get the big long list, kind of my brain dump of all the different ways that I've thought of. I'm sure there's more. This is not an exhaustive list. I didn't get this from anywhere, but just my little small brain. So, and I've done all of these except for TikTok. I put TikTok on here and I'm too scared. I haven't done TikTok yet. So we'll get to that. But when I'm looking at all these other ones, I've tried all of them. So remember how I said, start with one thing, try it, and either find a dead end or assimilate it and then try something else? That's why I've tried so many things, because remember, I have that vision of what I need my life to be, what I need my business to do for my life. And like I talked about in the beginning, and because of that, it fuels me, it fires me to keep trying other things. So I broke it down into 4 main sections with a bunch of different, with a bunch of different ideas under each section. So like I said, get out a pen and paper or in your phone notes or something, or even just think about it. And as you're listening to these different ideas, don't try to write them down unless you want to, but don't try to go crazy. Try to think about, I don't know, it sounds a little weird, but your heart. Like I said, I listen to my heart, and when I hear an idea that I get excited about or that kind of sparks a little emotion of, ooh, that's kind of fun, those are the things that I pay attention to. If it's something that's, oh, that's scary, I don't think I could do that yet, that's okay. You can put it on a shelf and come back to it later. Remember, we're looking for a low-hanging fruit and for the things that bring excitement and joy, because then we can share. Now, having said that, a lot of things that are the best things for us are scary and hard. So it might not be that any of these things are easy, but it's the things that kind of give that little spark of inspiration and excitement in your heart. So number one, this one doesn't have a million things, but it's just basically work your business. If you're selling a minimum of 2,000 PRV every month, and I know if that sounds crazy, if you're a new consultant or if you're just having a hard time with sales, that sounds crazy, that's okay, work up to it. But if you have that goal of selling that much, and then you're like, well, what does that have to do with sponsoring and recruiting? Becky, I thought you were telling us how to find new people. That's exactly it. The more customers you have and the more ways that you're doing it, whether it's through fundraisers or bingo parties or online parties or Zoom parties or a million different ways, that gets you in front of all the more people. And then you can help them to see they're already Scentsy addicts. So then you just help kind of flip them over into seeing how great it would be for them to do the same thing and be a consultant. So if you get in front of that many people that you're selling at least 2,000 PRV every month, then your likelihood is going to go up because you're just in front of more people and it's easier to flip them into. They always say that the best, easiest recruits are those who already know and love Scentsy. Like I said, that wasn't my case. I didn't own a Scentsy warmer. I'd never bought any Scentsy, but that's okay. Most people that join are. So don't count out the random Beckys, but also don't forget you have a whole bunch of little firewood that's all ready to get burning and to make it nice and warm fire because they already know and love the product and would love to share. So work your business, and then you can naturally transition them into joining. So that's number one, all in a nutshell. Number two, this one's gonna take a little bit longer. I'll give you the overview. So number one, work your business, 2,000 PRV a month. Number two is online, including social media. So I've got, I don't even know how many here. I did them A through O, so however many that is. I'm gonna share all these different ones through social media. Number three would be parties, and the different kinds of parties. And number four is intentional about looking and some ideas for where to look and how to find them. So number two, with online. So again, remember, there are a lot of different ways to do it. You cannot only, well, I can't say you can't because there are some people who do it, but the best way to do it is to take a multifaceted approach, just like with your sales. Try a bunch of different ways because your audience might be looking for you or waiting for you somewhere that you haven't gone yet because you're only doing one avenue or one platform or one way of finding people or reaching people, when there are a lot more people that need to hear your voice. They need to hear your story. They need to join your team because they will do better under your team than they would under mine or under Sally's or under Susie's. That's the beauty of relationship marketing and network marketing, is that you have something inside of you that you need to share that will make you the best sponsor for that one person. But if you're not finding them, they don't have the chance to join you. If you're not finding them asking. So online, number one, a VIP page. They can see you're constantly dripping. They see your excitement. It's easy because it's kind of a captive audience. So if you don't have a VIP page, that's a real easy low-hanging fruit because you already have customers. Flip them over into a VIP page. It gets the kindling gathered so that it's easy. They kind of keep each other warm with the fire and see who can outbuy each other. And it's a little good social peer pressure. It's the same thing with, like I said, you can kind of get them all ready to join you as well. So VIP page. Number two, online connecting with others. You can join Facebook groups for people who have like interests. Like if you love pug dogs or something like that, go join a group and be a part of it. Be an active member of the group, not just to poach, but go be an active member of that community and create relationships while you're in there. And then you'll have a whole bunch of new friends that you cannot like pounce on, but that it'll naturally, they'll go to your social media profile. Remember how I said you're just kind of dripping about all the good things in your life? Then they'll be like, oh, you're a Scentsy consultant. And then it just naturally goes into it from there. You can also create your own Facebook group. If you love to do, for a generic topic, that would be really easy to go into like a challenge with a group and something like if you love to clean, if you're really good at cleaning, well, that would be really easy to create a group around cleaning and then also be using your cleaning products with Scentsy. And then that's an easy bridge right there. Or if you like parenting tips and you want to create a parenting group or something, again, we've got kid products for Scentsy Kid. And like I said, not with the sole idea of like going to pounce on people, but just that's a way to find more people and more common interests. A blog. You can either start one if you like to blog, if you like to write, do a blog. Or if not, you can find somebody who has a blog and ask if you could be a guest blogger for them, or if you could even create like a little button on their little website or something, if they would be willing to, that kind of advertises for you. You could, like I said, there's a lot of different things that you could do with blogs. It's also, it's kind of a part-time job. So if that's something that's interested into you, go into it, Google how to create a good blog. There's a million different resources. But if that's something that you love to write or you love to share, then yeah, look into blogging, or like I said, seeing how you could be a guest blogger. Another idea is YouTube. The same ideas with YouTube. If you like to be in front of the, sorry, I keep getting these messages. If you like to be in front of the screen, or if you just feel like you have a story that you want to share, or even if it's just something that you feel like you could reach out to other people through video, start a YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel just mainly as consultant resources for my team, because it felt like I was kind of explaining the same things over again. So I found that if I just put it on YouTube, I could just send them a link and then they can watch it when they want to. And so that's kind of how mine started, and then it can just branch out into whatever you want. So if that's your jam, look into how to rock YouTube. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram is a huge one that's really blowing up right now and has been gaining momentum. There are a lot of different free classes you can take to get, so-and-so's 5 favorite tips, or, best way to post on Instagram. There's a lot of free trainings out there. If you want to do Instagram, learn how to do Instagram stories and how to do IGTV, and learn how to pick your platform. All these different things like YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, those are called platforms. Pick one and figure out how to rock and roll so that it's not overwhelming, but learn and hone your craft. But also don't just expect people to come out of the woodwork just because you made an Instagram account, because it doesn't work that way. Same thing with Pinterest. Pinterest is highly underutilized, but it's a great place to be sharing your content, especially if you do make a YouTube video, then you can share it on Pinterest. Or if you make a blog, then you could share it on Pinterest. So sharing things from your own Scentsy website, your Scentsy replicated website, pin those onto Pinterest so then people can find your products or join, as well as use that as another way to kind of connect the dots with all of your different projects. So if you, again, Pinterest is another great way to go to find a place. Podcast, if you like to chat and if you are a talker and if you just feel like you have some ideas that you'd want to share, start a podcast. Or an external website, which is basically, we have our Scentsy replicated website, which is all the same for all of ours, and we can make it, fine tune it and make it ours a little bit. But if you want to kind of make your own thing, or if you have a better way to do it, or if you just really like computers and stuff like that, you can make your own external website. There are different standards and Scentsy standards that you have to abide by to make it. But yeah, if you like computers or just want to learn how to do that, an external website, again, is another way to help them find you. And you can put a blog on your external website, and you could house your YouTube videos on your external website, and then you could pin to your external website on Pinterest. And see what I'm saying? You don't start with all of them, but start with one. But you can really expand your reach, and then you're able to be found. If somebody's only on Pinterest, then they'll find you on Pinterest. If somebody's only on Instagram, then they'll find you on Instagram. So like I said, work up to it and don't get scared. But TikTok, that's the one that, like I said, I haven't done because I don't know. I'm not very good at being silly and fun and off the cuff, and it feels like that one's just overwhelming for me. So I haven't started there, but live videos, that's a great way for people to see who you are, and for that vulnerable side to be out. They can see how you are. They can like your vibe, your energy, your happiness, the color of your shirt. I don't know. Live videos are huge and very powerful about Scentsy products, but also just about your life. I like to garden, so I like to do live videos out of my garden. That way people can really truly connect with you. Remember how it's a connection, it's a relationship building kind of a business that we're in. So let them connect with you. Comment on posts of non-Scentsy friends, because that way people can see you. The more you comment, see, Facebook's algorithm, it's a crazy mess of it's an algorithm. It's kind of a game that you have to play. And the more you comment on your friends' posts that are not Scentsy, just to be interacting in their lives, the more you will come up in everybody's newsfeed. And so that people can then go to your website and see your pictures of your garden and your kids and your favorite Scentsy warmer and your bar that you just put on, as well as your back to school stuff that you're doing. Remember, because it's all part of your whole life. It's not just product, because remember, they want to feel. Facts tell, stories sell. So you're selling the story of your family, of your life, of your hobbies, of your whatever, so that then people can see you and be attracted to you. So comment on posts of non-Scentsy friends. Comment on posts of Scentsy friends. If they're not in your team, if they're on your team, it also helps people in your own friends feed see, again, this beautiful community that we have where we all love each other and support each other and help lift each other up. And then they'll want to be a part of it. Add friends online, join groups. Don't be afraid of connecting with people. Don't be afraid of being seen, as well as do ask me type posts. So instead of like all of the blah and vomiting on everybody, do things that kind of pique their interest, or ask me about this or something like that. Because those are great to get people to, again, you're attracting them to you, and then you tell them to ask you. So here's the last one on online social media, and it might be kind of new. But you can share an asset online, and an asset is something that you create. Maybe it's your guide to, it can be Scentsy related, or it can be cleaning related, you know, your top, or this could be like a guide of, you know, your top 5 places to clean on a weekend for a deep clean or something like that. And then you create just a quick little PDF. You can do that in Canva. I mean, there's a million different ways that are free that you can do it for free. And then you create that, and that's called an asset, because that's something that you have to offer. And then you can share that asset online and say, hey, if you want this free asset, give me your email, and then I'll email it to you. And the beauty of that is now you're growing your list of potential people that you can get to kind of nurture that relationship. And then you can go back and talk to them about it later and follow up with them about why they would want to join or something like that. So that's another new one that is kind of in a lot of the things that I've been learning about online. And anyway, in this mastermind that I'm talking about, share something online. And again, that's kind of a level 2.0, but you could create something pretty simply. It could even just be like a guide to how to pick the best fragrances, or how many warmers do you need, or how to best fill your air, how to best scent your space, or how to decorate with your warmers, or whatever it is that's your forte or that you would like to share. Create some kind of asset that you can then have them ask you for it, and then they sign up with their email, and then you have somebody that you can help nurture, and then your list keeps growing of your potentials. Okay, the rest, that was the longest one. Number 2 is the longest of the online. Number 3 is parties. So when we can go back to regular parties, obviously that's a regular way, but there's also so many ways to party that we've all figured out. Bingo parties, email parties, text parties, messenger parties, online Facebook parties, Zoom parties, any party that you do that's a party, you can flip the host. You can flip a fundraiser host as well. I like to do fundraisers because I like to support schools and give back. And it's really great to be able to flip a fundraiser host, because then they can do the fundraiser next year and I can help them with it. And then they get all those contacts and all those customers. So it's a great thing to be able to do. So don't forget flipping your host of any kind of party. So if you're doing a bingo party, again, you can flip that host. If you're doing a text party, again, your host is a great prospect. Number 2, on parties. So you flip the host, or you flip the customers. If the host doesn't want to take the party, guess what? Offer it to the customers. I do that all the time. And I've had a lot of customers be like, oh, I could do this. I didn't even think about this. They didn't even host the party. They just came and bought, whether it's online or in person or through a bingo party, or, however you're doing it. They offer it to all the customers as well. As well as just number 3, just your general best customers, follow up with them and invite them so that they know that you want them. Because sometimes if you don't invite them, then they're just like, oh, I didn't think you wanted me to join your team because you didn't ever ask me. Another way to do it with your parties is put host or join brochures in all of your orders, just so that you're kind of, again, just like, hey, remember, you could join me, you could do this. As well as then Amy, the follow-up with Amy. I can't remember what it was called before. Sometimes when I say Amy, people don't know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But it's our follow-up system that you can sign up for. It's either free, or you can sign up for the professional version, or whatever it's called, the paid version. And it works right with your workstation. And then again, that really helps you to follow up with hosts to have them book again. Or you can keep a little tally of potential recruits in there. So then again, you are always making your list. Yeah, Maven, thank you. Maven was what it was called before, and now it's follow up with Amy or something like that. So, and then the last thing, the last way is to be intentional about looking. So this includes things like branding yourself, wearing a Scentsy t-shirt or a Scentsy headband or something like that, or carrying a Scentsy bag, or just whatever way you want to do it, branding your car, however you want to do it. It doesn't even have to be big, it can be little, but make sure you brand yourself with apparel as well as with what you talk about, with what you post about. Not every post, but every once in a while, just show yourself using the product, and that brands you as a Scentsy consultant. Or show yourself working your business and from your desk at home, and just say, oh, I sure love working from home while my kids are doing their schoolwork, or whatever it is. Branding yourself includes creating a brand that's not just what you're wearing, but it's who you are and how they associate with you. International contacts. Again, this is a whole other training that I've given before, but don't forget that if you kind of are on that list of, you know, your low-hanging fruit and then your ladder's going up, and if you just really want to go international, again, you can use any of those other ways that I talked about before to expand your business internationally as well. So don't forget about that beautiful opportunity to expand your Scentsy horizons, whether it's from referrals or ads or blog posts or sponsored ads, however you want to do it. Don't forget about the international component of our business, which is a huge blessing to us. You could do a bacon night or a taco night. Bacon is become a consultant opportunity night, or taco is totally awesome consultant opportunity night, where basically you just kind of gather everybody who you've ever been talking to and have your team gather everybody that they've ever been talking to. And it's kind of a group gift, a group feel all together, where you get together and you all share information together about you could even just share your story about why you joined or whatever, and then answer questions. And then that's a bacon night where you just join it. So you kind of join forces. You could do an opportunity meeting in your home. Obviously you can't right now, but soon it'll go back, or you could do it online, which is kind of like the bacon taco night. Possibility packets, have those ready and give those out. I've seen the golden ticket possibility packets passed around. That idea is super fun. So again, you can look up these. If you have that hunger, if you have the idea that you are going to be recruiting, you are going to be growing your team, and you are creating that mindset, these are just a few ideas. There's a million different ways to do it. And then you will look up how to do a bacon night, or you will make it up yourself, or you'll think of a new way that I haven't even thought of yet. That's the beauty of creating your own fire, and then you'll think of something else. Referrals. I love referrals. Referrals have been huge in my business. So figure out what are ways that you could naturally ask for a referral. Ask in person, have a flyer in people's orders, have a system for having your customers give you a referral, put a sticker on all your orders asking them to tag you and brag about it online. Whatever you want to do, find a way to get referrals, because again, if your circle and your contacts are this big, their circle and their contacts are this big, and their friends and their circles are this big, and then you get to work within this big circle instead of just your little Fab Five that you started with. It's a great place to start, but you can't stop there. So find ways to expand with referrals, as well as my last idea is every party that's 200 PRV, or whatever your minimum party is. I think it's 200 PRV everywhere, but maybe not. Sorry for region 2 and 3 if I'm wrong. But every minimum party in the US is 200 PRV. It qualifies for the host kit. Every single one of them. So use it. You can either have them use the host rewards and join, or they can just get the host kit at the host price, and then you keep all the rewards. Or maybe if your host doesn't want to join, you can get a host that had nothing to do with your party and have them use that host kit price, and then they can sign up for it. So every single party that you close, you could be adding a new team member and giving them, it's perfect because it's timely. They have to hurry because you've got to close that party. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity because this one party will never close again. And it's something that's exciting because I chose you to be my special person that gets this party host kit that's aligned with this party. So if there's anything, like I said, that is confusing, just go on your workstation or Google or YouTube, or obviously you can reach out to me and ask me, because I know I told you I was going to fire hose a whole bunch of ideas, but hopefully you found something that you just can take and apply right now and make it happen right now, so that you can have something to start with, even tonight or this morning or whatever time it is when you're watching this. Do something right now, right where you've got the momentum and the fire and the energy and the ideas. write down your ideas and start right now. Start tonight working on your plan and actually contacting people. Don't try to make it perfect because that will lead to perfection paralysis and you won't do anything. Or don't try to plan it perfectly because then you'll have this great plan. But remember, the execution is where you actually find the good stuff. So, and in all of your stuff, remember you're trying to build a funnel. You're doing things to attract people to you and to be found, but you also need to collect their information so that you can follow up with them, so that you can nurture that information, whether that's in a VIP page or through email sequencing or text sequencing if you want to follow up with that, where you kind of send them frequent texts, whatever you're doing to nurture that relationship and then get them to where you can convert and turn them into either your good customer or a referral for you, or maybe even hopefully your new team member. So anyway, a lot of ideas that have come from a lot of different sources, but like I said, it's not exhaustive. Maybe you are going to come up with the best idea that's ever come your way, but has never been thought of before. So use that fire inside you to say, why do I need to grow my team? What is it about my life that needs to change? And Scentsy is your tool. Scentsy is the way that you can do it. And growing your team is a beautiful way to do it and to offer that to other people so they can have that hope of something better as well. So anyway, thanks for joining. You guys were so fun. It's fun to see your comments. I'm sorry I didn't have time to go through all of them because otherwise I squirrel and I'd never get back. Anyway, hopefully there was something in there that you can take. Like I said, don't try to do it all. You will get overwhelmed and you won't do it. But try to add one little thing to your arsenal and let's make this month the best recruiting month that you've ever had. And then going forward, next month, it'll be the best recruiting month you've ever had next month. And then the month after that, it'll be the best. And you'll just keep continuing to make yourself the amazing sponsor that you really can be and your potential. So anyway, thanks for joining in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a message or comment on the post or whatever, and I'll try to hop on and monitor it for a little bit and see if there's anything else that I can answer. But anyway, you guys are great. Here's to a great recruiting and finding all those potentials. And yeah, hope you guys have a great evening. Thanks for joining in. Bye.